Good morning, good morning, good morning. Bonjour, konnichiwa, assalamu alaikum, dzień dobry. How are you doing today? Hope you're doing well. Welcome back after the weekend. Hope you had a lovely weekend. And if you haven't been here before, welcome. If you're coming back, thank you so much for joining us again. It's Monday, always a day when we're collating all the offers from the weekend. By the way, if you just joined us, wondered what's going on, we're estate agents based in southwest London, SW16 Norbury to be precise, sandwiched between Streatham and Croydon, and we sell and let properties. We're a Zone 3 commuter area. We talk about all things property, the national news, the local news. Locally, what's going on is really busy on sales. Nice to see lettings picking up as well, although the actual rental amounts are lower than they were. The volume has started to pick up as the vaccination program takes hold and people start to come out of lockdown. We expect this to be more the case, and it certainly seems to be. So good news there. A few national headlines that caught my eye. I'm going to finish up with one where, see if you can guess this, the commuter hotspot that has overtaken London as the most popular house hunter destination. Come on to that later. Commuter belts could double in size, says Sunday Times. This is the shift to flexible working. What they're saying is that the area commuter, if you're only coming into work 3 days a week, then we could see the commuter belt area double in size. Research by Travel Times found that commuting to a city 3 days a week will make it feasible to live in the Highland Glens, the Quantock Hills in Somerset, or Northumberland's coastal villages without adding time spent in the car or public transport. In fact, almost everyone in Britain could live wherever they want and still work in a city centre if they spend 10 hours a week commuting. Yeah, but really? Who wants to spend 10 hours a week commuting? But on 3 days instead of 5, of course. It found that the catchment area of some cities would double and some would triple if Londoners were willing to increase their commuter belt area to 100 minutes. London's commuter belt would expand from 8.2 million people to 16 million people, while Manchester's would jump from 5.4 to 12 million. Cardiff could draw from a population of 3.8 mil, almost triple the 1.3 mil, with Glasgow rising 3.8 and Newcastle to 2.1. The researchers calculated the figures for commuting by car as well as public transport and assumed people had to arrive at work by 9 a.m. Well, yeah, all those things are true and very interesting, but there's a flip side to this, isn't there? First of all, who wants to spend all that time commuting? Secondly, the cost of commuting is phenomenal. You look at train fares these days, you look at fuel, you look at congestion charges, all sorts of considerations not taken into account there, which will mean that places like London will always be fantastic places to live. Now, a third of pandemic hit homeowners are planning to pay higher mortgage rates. Nearly a third of homeowners whose finances have been hit by the pandemic say they're unlikely to move and will end up on their lender's standard variable rate rather than remortgage. And this is because of the pandemic. They're unable to refinance, and it's really frustrating. I think it's really wrong. Lenders offer all these new deals to incoming new borrowers, but they're existing borrowers that can't remortgage due to financial circumstances. They're stuck with them and they're stuck with a lender. They can't refinance. And I do think that's grossly unfair, and something should be legislated about that. You know, if you've got a deal that allows people to go on a certain rate, then that rate should be available to the people that are already on mortgage with you. Tenants and landlords hit by debt crisis. This is an article in the Telegraph this weekend. The private rental sector is crippled by a debt crisis, say the Telegraph, as landlords and tenants are being pushed to breaking point 1 year on from the eviction ban. Courts are braced for a year's worth of possession claims to overwhelm the system, while hundreds of thousands of renters fear homelessness. Bailiff enforced evictions are banned until May 31st, except in extreme cases such as those involving antisocial behaviour or extreme arrears. However, many landlords feel abandoned. They must give 6 months' notice for evictions until May 31. In the 12 months from March 2020, when the eviction ban was introduced, the Ministry of Justice data showed landlords made about 87,000 fewer repossession claims than in the year earlier. Landlords think the eviction ban means they can't even start the process. And this is said by Giles Peaker of Anthony Gold, very well-respected landlord and tenant solicitors. Even without the pressures of the pandemic, there's a huge backlog of claims. They will hit the courts at a time when social distancing may reduce processing capacity to 25% of normal levels, said Mr. Peaker. There won't be an instant tidal wave of evictions simply because the courts cannot cope. Mortgages. Onto mortgages now. This one from The Observer, and an interesting spot this. More mortgage deals are now on offer for first-time buyers with low deposits, but those looking to buy a flat are increasingly finding themselves left out. We talked last week about the Yorkshire Building Society's new Accord Mortgages arm offering a 95% loan to value and to the mainstream mortgage market. However, it's fixed at 3.99, which isn't too bad, but it's only available to first-time buyers looking at freehold houses, bungalows. Flats, masonettes and new builds are excluded. The same goes for Virgin Money's new 90% home loans. This reflects the fact lenders are looking to protect themselves against potential price falls post the end of the furlough scheme and the unemployment jumps that may follow. Now, which city has overtaken London as the house hunter's most popular destination? It's Cornwall, of all places. Yes, indeed, Cornwall's overtaken London. I don't think it'll stay that way once the things start getting back to normal. Do you? Maybe. We'll see. This is an article from the Times. Cornwall has replaced London as the most searched for location on Rightmove. The website said there were more than 5 million searches for properties in Cornwall in February 2021 alone. Searches for the village of Stithians in Cornwall are up by 224%, while searches for Polperro, also in Cornwall, increased by 203%. These were the biggest annual increases across Britain. Properties in Braemar, Aberdeenshire increased by 189%, making it the third highest jump. Dorset also made it into the top 10, having been at number 20 a year ago as people search for picturesque countryside and seaside locations. There have also been more people who currently live in a city inquiring about a property that's outside of that city. Again, going back to that commuting thing, isn't it? Renters are also searching for more space as well. So in terms of what we've got coming for you this week, got a couple of interesting things for our weekly podcast this week. We're hoping to have Jeremy on. He's a fantastic property developer, very seasoned professional and funny guy, as well as really experienced when it comes to property development. We'll be talking to him about the various ways that you can make money out of property on our weekly podcast. That's coming up for you on Friday. Also on Friday, we have the fantastic Deirdre. She sold a property through us recently. We're going to talk through her experience of the whole process from nightmare to eventual getting through it. And it wasn't easy. She had a tough ride, but all is well in the end. And she's also a fantastic singer. We'll be plugging that a little bit for her too. So looking forward to that on Friday. And between now and then, of course, we'll be back every day for Ken at 10, giving you the latest in the national property headlines and locally what's happening right here in Norbury SW16. So that's it for today. Hope you have a great day. Look after yourself and your family and friends. We'll be back tomorrow with another Ken at 10. Until then, stay safe and well. Have a fantastic day.